7th of July. I hope everybody had a wonderful day, and I'm not sure if any of you went to school this morning or that you went to school yesterday, but I hope you guys are staying safe and that you are enjoying seeing your friends again. Welcome back, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun again in today's class. What I thought I wanted to do, because we were going to do part 2 of creating art with code, but because we're going to start using loops and that, I wanted to just practice in our loops a little bit more, and then I think maybe tomorrow or the day after we will go back to our creating art with code. So today our topic will focus on loops itself, and then we are going to use Ray and BB-8 from our Star Wars to help us guide a maze and collect. I think BB-8 collects scrap metal. So we're going to try and collect as much scrap metal as possible. Okay, so I'd like us to quickly, that jumped quite a bit. There we go. Our objectives for today is to identify the benefits of using loops, the loop structure, instead of manual repetition. So instead of using things over and over again, I want us to see the benefit in using a loop, because not only does it make our code shorter, it also keeps it nice and tidy, and it's easier for us to manage. So, and then also to break down long sequences of instructions into the largest repeatable sequence. And we're going to look at a bit at that. How are we going to go about doing that, breaking our code down into repeatable sequences. Okay, and the purpose for this is using loops is an important skill in programming, because manually repeating commands is tedious and insufficient. And I'm going to show you an example of that. Let's quickly do our vocabulary. I'm just going to run through this. I like running through this every day just so that we can solidify it in our minds. Coding or programming is the process of creating instructions. Okay, it's how we speak to our computer or our program. Then sequencing, remember, it is probably the most important thing, is to the process of combining things in a particular order. And yesterday we saw that if our code isn't in a particular order, maybe our code will run into errors, or it will just go in a crazy loop and it will get stuck and nothing will happen. Okay, here, loop. This is what we are going to focus on today, a loop. That's the action of doing something over and over again. Okay, so the code inside will repeat or loop as many times as you like. So if we look at the example that I've got over here, these two blocks of code are identical. The one we've just manually coded the commands per line, and the other one we've used our loop with 5 times and move forward. So we can see that this one is a lot more efficient, and it will also just help us, especially if we start coding programs and longer blocks of code. It will just help us keep track of our code a bit better. It will just help us to find things a little bit easier as well. Okay, instead of having pages and pages of commands that just repeat over and over again. Okay, so this is what we will, I know that we've done a couple of these already, but this is really just so that we can get stuck into it, solidify in our mind, and that we can get used to using these things and actually recognizing how to spot repeating code. Okay, so if you guys give me a second, I am going to go to code.org so I can get the code, for the link for you guys, and then I will post it for you. So let me quickly change over. And then for those of you that get in first, remember you can watch the video in the meantime. Okay, there I am. Let's copy the link for you guys. And I didn't get any art from anybody, guys. I want you to remember to send me your art. I really want to see what you guys get up to. I'm so excited, or I'm waiting in anticipation to receive some code from you guys. I'm going to skip the video. You guys can watch that on your side. Let me know in the chat box I'm in, or I'm ready, just so that I know that we can go on to puzzle number 2. Okay, I see Neo is ready. I hope everybody else is getting in. Okay, and then I am going to go to puzzle number 2. Let's look at our instructions. Our instructions say, go get the scrap metal BB8. Use 5 of the same blocks to get the scrap metal. Scrap metal glows like this. And we can see there are 3 pieces of scrap metal BB8 needs to pick up. And right now, if we follow our instructions, they don't want us to use the repeat button. They just want us to use 5 of the same blocks. So we can see BB8 is already facing this way. So we will just use our 5 blocks, move forward, and we will connect our code. And the reason why they want you to do this is so that you can see, you can visualize, basically visualize what we are going to do. So we can see now here, you know what, all these things are the same. All these are the same, and then in the next couple of puzzles, we will combine all these commands into our one repeat block. Okay, and then we can decide how many times we want to repeat a certain action. Okay, so that one was easy enough. Let's run it and see what happens. There we go. Straightforward, running forward, moving forward, collecting all the scrap metal. Okay, here we have a quick question. Our question in the instructions is, what do you think will happen when you click run? I'm going to read it, and then I want everybody just to type for me A, B, C, or D. BB8 will not move. BB8 will move only 1 space. BB8 will move 5 times and get all the scrap metal, and then I don't know. Okay, I've got a couple of C's. Neo's got C, so a couple others. Guys, remember when we're in the lesson, Try and keep the chat to a minimum, just so that I can also see the answers that come through. Otherwise, I might miss something. Okay, and I see Lesedi said C. Bonono is... Okay, so guys, yes, it is C. Remember, this is the exact same code we used in the previous one. And we're just going to repeat it 5 times. Moving on to puzzle number 4, it is another video, so you guys are welcome to watch it on your side. It's repeat blocks with BB8. It is just going to give you some tips or explain to you, but we're going to go through it as well. So I'm going to move right ahead. You guys can, you are more than welcome to watch it on your side. Okay, puzzle number 5. Let me just copy the new link for you guys. And then let's read our instructions. Remember, instructions are important. To get all the scrap metal, try creating a loop that uses only one block inside a repeat block. Okay, so we know we have to use the repeat block. Who can quickly tell me which repeat or which command are we going to put inside our repeat block? This one is a nice and easy one. And they're still actually giving us clues of what we need. We are going to use the, there we go, we can see a little 1 up here, move forward. Thank you, Lesedi. Yes, we got to move forward. Okay, so this is just to practice how to use it. The next one, the next couple will become a little bit more difficult. Okay, well done, guys. Okay, now here we've got a couple of extra commands. In this puzzle, 2 repeat blocks will help you get BB8 all the way to the scrap metal. Okay, so I want you guys to tell me what is my first step going to be. Luckily, we know already from our instructions that we're going to use 2 repeat blocks, and they want us to use the fewest number of blocks possible. So who can tell me what are we going to do? We're going to use 2 repeat blocks like they said, so I'll put them in my workspace already. So what will be the first thing we need to do? Firstly, we need to check. Remember, we need to check. We know that we're just going to move forward. That's an easy one, just move forward, but we have to actually check how many. That is one thing sometimes I always forget, not always, sometimes forget to do this, because you can see sometimes there will be a question mark and sometimes there will already be a value assigned inside. And then when I start running my code, either it gives me that there's something wrong with my code because I didn't change that, or it runs all the way past where it's supposed to go. So I want to give you an example. Look at that. There we go. My code won't work because BB8 runs all the way past where he is supposed to turn. It's not a problem. We can fix it. We can make him come down and turn again. But we also know that they wanted us to use the fewest number of blocks possible. So I am going to change this to 4 because we know now. We'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then who can tell me which way will I turn? Which way will BB8 need to turn to go down? Will he need to turn left or will he need to turn right? Repeat 4. Lesedi said repeat 4 times, move forward and turn right. Bonono also said turn right. Well done, guys. Yes. we're going to turn right, and then we can count how many times would we need to move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So we're going to repeat the same thing, use our loop, but this time 5 times, and let's run our program. Now, I think I saw Bonono say something about it's very slow. I'm not sure if it's slow on your side. What do you mean? Or that we are going through the lesson quite slowly. I want us to go through it nice. And if it's that, I want us to go through it nice and slowly so that we all understand. And this is the most important part of learning, these first couple of steps. Sometimes we are so eager just to move on to the next step that we don't really get enough practice of the basics. And as soon as we get the basics underneath our belt, then coding will be fun. And once it starts getting more difficult, we'll be able to understand what we are doing. Okay, puzzle number 7. Let me paste the new link for you guys. Puzzle number 7, easy. She just says, Ray just says, go BB8. So we just have to go and collect. So who can tell me what will my first, I think this is where I want to quickly explain something to you as well. I'm going to use this one because it's a nice short one. I don't want to go to some of the more difficult puzzles and then try to explain this to you. I want to explain it to you guys now quickly. If you are not sure where to use a repeat loop, okay, build your code as if you don't have a loop, okay? Build it as if you don't have a loop. So we can see now here, BB8 will move forward and he'll turn right. Okay, now pretend we don't have this repeat loop. We will have to use, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move forward commands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I quickly want to go back to my slide. I want to show you something. There we go. Remember, it's the action of doing something over and over again. So the code inside will repeat as many times as you like. Now for us, like we said, the purpose of our lesson today is to recognize, let me go back to that one. There we go. Using loops is an important skill in programming because manually repeating commands is tedious and insufficient. Okay, and if we look at our objective here, this is the important sentence I want us to look at. To break down a long sequence of instructions into the largest repeatable sequence. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to code.org and then we will see. Here we've got move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward. Now that is our largest repeatable sequence because the two above doesn't have any effect on the command that keeps repeating. Okay, so this is a nice easy one. That's why I wanted to show you guys this. So you will build code and then eventually maybe you will see, look at that. Those commands repeat. Okay, and then we can adjust our code. We can move that in. We can take away all the others and we can then just put one inside. Okay, and then we can run it again. Either one would work. So don't worry if you miss a repeat block or that the possibility of being able to use a repeat block. Your code will still run if it if the command is there for it to do so. So don't worry if you skip a repeat block and you could have used one. And it does take practice to spot these things. Here, can you get it all? Loops even work with more than one block inside. Can you loop this sequence? Okay, up to now, we've only used one command within a repeat block, but we can also use more than one. But first, before we change, let's see what this code does. Okay, there's already some code. It says move forward, move forward, move forward, and turn right. There we go, turn right. Now it looks like this code that they've given us will repeat. Every action will repeat, because if we count it now, let's just see, our second step would have been move forward, move forward. That would be 1, 2, 3 times. And also turn right. So we can actually see that the code we just built, if I split it over here and I put it next to this code, it's identical. It's the same thing. Okay, so we know, and then if we look here, even if we move forward, we only need to move 2 times. So we can either write a new code for that, or we can just use the same code, because we can see here the next block, even if BB8 moves to that block, it won't affect it. Maybe if there was a cliff or a hole here and BB8 would have fallen into it, then we wouldn't have been able to repeat this code 3 times. But because that block is empty, it doesn't matter if BB8 moves to that block. So now we can use this entire code 3 times. Let's drag that out. Reset and run. So we can see it will run. There's once, second time, and then 3 times. Look at that, BB8 will move. Okay, this program even stops BB8 right on the last piece of scrap metal. Okay, which is nice. But even if there was a hole over there, it wouldn't have mattered, because, or if our code, even if BB8 moved all the way up to there, it wouldn't have made a difference, because he will still be safe over there. Okay, so let's move to puzzle number 9. Now here's where I want you guys to practice. Remember what I've been telling you? Can you try to get all the scrap metal using just one loop? Try programming it all out, then finding the repeating code to put in a loop. Okay, remember, if we can't spot it right away, what the repeating loop would be, we will code it all out. Okay, we will code it all out. So our first step again, to move forward and then turn right. And the next puzzle, I'm going to let somebody tell me what to do. I just want to show you guys here. This one is going to take long if we code it all the way out. That's why I used the previous puzzle to explain it. But I'm going to code it out you can say this until the code repeats itself 2 times. So we'll turn right and we'll move forward 2 times. There's still no repeat in our code. Up here we will turn left, still no repeat. There's no repeating pattern yet. We've got forward, turn right, move forward, turn left. And that would leave us in this square over here. Now I think we've got move forward, move forward, turn right, and then move forward 2 times. Now we can see that there might be a repeating pattern appearing in our code. So we've got to turn right over here, and a move forward and a move forward, and a turn left. Now we've got to turn forward. Now we've got to move forward, turn right, move forward. So the turn right, move forward is repeating so far. So let's see if our next step would also then be to turn left. So we are now all the way over here, and then yes, we are going to turn left. So see, our code could get quite long if we do it this way, writing it out block for block. But now we can see that something is happening. There's a code that is repeating. We've got turn right. The first one we'll have to move only once because that's move forward. But then there's a turn right. Turn right, move forward, and move forward. And then down here, we can see that pattern repeats itself. Turn right, move forward, turn left. So let's see if we take that and we put it inside our, oops, I split that up. Let me just grab the whole one. Put that inside. Let's see what happens with our code. And then just split that up. Where's the second turn right? Let's take that out and see what happens. So far, so good. Look at that. There we go. We didn't even have to check the rest of the code because we ran our, let me close this, show you. We ran it 5 times. I didn't even check that. Hey, I didn't say carry on. Okay, but like I think you guys see what I mean is as soon as you see a pattern appearing, then you can take that and put that into your repeat loop. Okay, now this is a challenge puzzle, so I want you guys to help me out here, and let's see if we can solve this. Okay, so who can tell me, it says challenge, combine ideas from the last few puzzles to complete this level. So who can tell me what will our first command be? What's the first thing we would have to do to get our code going? What will be the first thing we need to do? Who thinks that they can tell me? What will our first action be? Repeat block. Okay, I will put the repeat block. Okay. Right now, we're not quite sure what we're going to repeat, but that's fine. We are going to use our repeat block. But remember what I mentioned? Let's build a code until we see something repeating itself. So that is always a nice step. Okay, remember BB8 is already looking down. So I don't think we'll need to turn Lissetti. If he turns right, he's going to go out the screen. So what do we have to do over here? I like it when we interact because we bouncing ideas from one another. We can do this. I'm going to do whatever you guys tell me to do. And I'm going to turn right. And if I run that, you'll see BB8 turns to go that way. So let's see, I saw another one. Ntando said, move forward and turn left. So let's take those two out. Move forward and turn left. That's what Ntando told us to do. And then let's see again, move forward and turn right. Move forward and turn right. Let's quickly check what happens. There we go. Move forward, turn left, move forward, turn right. Now, if you see where BB8 is standing right now, it is only one block down and one block to the right of where he was. Now, if he repeats that, we can go down this line. So I think Ntando has got a nice idea going here. She might end up a little bit short, but let's do that. Let's do what she said, move 4 times and test it, because this will be our repeating pattern. Move forward, turn left, move forward, turn right. Let's see, there is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oops. Keep coding, guys. Something's not quite right. Okay, this is an easy fix. Instead of repeating our code 4 times, we need to make it 5 times. Okay, so we will just need to make our code 5 times. Let's run it again. That's 3, that's 4, and then the last one, 5. There we go. Okay, so we're getting closer. What are we going to do now, guys? What are we going to do now? I think turn left. Okay, Lesedi, yeah, let's see. We'll turn left. Now remember which way BB8 is facing. Ooh, there's a nice one. I didn't think anybody is going to spot that. Because remember, I said you guys can check your drop downs. Well done, Neo. I was going to give you guys a challenge to find a different way, but I see Neo has jumped me one ahead because he already discovered that there's a different way for BB8 to move. But yes, Lesedi, you are also right, because what we can do is we can turn BB8, but all we have to remember, because look, he's looking down right now. If we turn left, he's going to face to the right, and then so he is going to have to turn 2 times to go the other direction. Yesterday we worked with angles. So if we worked with angles here, we could have just said turn 180. But we don't have angles in this puzzle. We only have turn left, turn right. So Lesedi, yes, you can turn left 2 times, and then BB8 will turn around. Okay, or like Neo said, but let's run both. Like Neo said, if we look in our move drop down, BB8 can move backwards as well. So BB8 can just run backwards all the way up. But now we can also use a repeat because it's just one line. We just have to count how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, also 5 times. But Lesedi's code will be repeat, move forward. Let's reset. And look, we are still within our blocks. We're still using 10 blocks. Let's run that. There we go. That's 3, 4, and then 5. Turn 2 times, and then there we go. So see, Lesedi, that also works. Not a problem. But then let's try again. I want to take out the turn left. Let's just take the repeat. Take out the turn lefts. And we will go here to our move, and we will just move backwards. Okay, so let's reset and run it again and see what happens. There we go, that's 4 and 5. And then there we go, all the way up in a backward motion. Okay, so well done, guys. And Neo, well done for spotting that one. Okay. Now, if we look at this code, remember we have to, if we can't spot, because I can see that all the blocks in between are different amount. So I think we're going to use more than one repeat over here. And remember what I've told you as well. Here, BB8 just needs, let's code to see where a pattern returns or where a pattern repeats. So here we can see it's very easy. BB8 just needs to move forward 2 times. Now, I like to just use move forward. You can use a repeat block as well. Both options will give you 2 blocks if we look at them next to each other there. Move forward 2 times are 2 blocks, and then the repeat and move forward, also 2 blocks. So here, I don't mind if you just use the command, or you can use the repeat. But just for this lesson, let's use the repeat because we are practicing with the repeat button. Okay, so let's just make that move forward 2 times. What do you reckon what do you reckon you guys are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? Anybody? What are we going to do next? We are just going to turn right. Turn right. Okay. If we run our code, we'll see we're standing there and now we're looking up. We still need some code. We're just going to keep moving, but this time if we count, we will see we'll need to move 1, 2, 3 times. We'll use our repeat again, and we'll just go 3 times, still just move forward. Leletu says she's done. Well done. I like it when you guys try and do it by yourself. Next one, let's see, reset. If we're right, you can keep running. There we go. We're all the way up there. We are going to turn right again. Now, just remember, we won't be able to put the turn right in our repeat because that will be the first command our code would try to complete. And unfortunately, then our BB8, let me put that inside and I'll show you what will happen. Just want the one turn right. Let's put that inside and look at this now, because then it will move forward and turn right, move forward and turn right, and then it hits into it. So we have to be careful what we put inside our repeat block. We only want to move, then turn, and only want to move and then turn. And then the next one, we can look up here, we can see we need to move 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 times. Also just move forward. Hi, how are you?
Fine, you, sir.
How can I help? Yes.
I'm done with it.
You're done. Well done. So what was your next step? What did you do? Can you quickly tell me what did you do?
I said, okay, so you started by, then I moved forward once, I turned right.
Okay.
Then I moved. So can I tell you again?
You can tell me,
I
yes.
moved forward. I moved forward.
Yes.
Then I turned right.
Yes.
Then I moved forward again when I turned right
Yes.
for
How many
3
times?
times.
3 times.
Then,
Yes.
yes, sir. And then I turned right again. Then I moved forward 3 times again.
4 times?
No, it's actually 4 times, sir.
4 times, yes.
And then I turned right and moved once again, sir.
Just once. Well done. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure, sir.
Okay, guys. Yes. So then that will be one more move right and then move forward, just like Malik told us. Let's reset and run all the way to the end. Okay, there we go. We're going to do one more puzzle together quickly, and then there are 2 for you guys to do by yourself. I think maybe one is a question and then one is a puzzle. But I want you guys to really send it to me on email. I really like to see how you guys code. Now, let's quickly look at this one. We can see that this over here and this will be the same as this and this. Okay, so we can, and remember, this is one thing I want to show you guys quickly. Let's see our Neo. Yes, Neo, you can talk. I've unmuted you.
Sir?
Yes.
So I wanted to show you how to do this one.
Okay, yes. Tell me quickly, Neo, how are we going to do this one?
So you put a repeat block.
Yes. And how many times are we going to? 5 times.
Yes, it stays 5 times.
Okay.
And then so inside that repeat block, you put a repeat block again, but 3 times.
But 3 times. Okay.
And then so you put a move forward block inside the repeat 3 times.
And move forward inside the repeat 3 times. Okay, yes.
And then under the repeat 3 times, you put turn right.
Under the repeat. Or
Yes,
under
sir.
the
Repeat
under the
3
repeat.
times.
I put turn right. Okay, should I run that?
So you put another repeat 3 times, do the same thing, but at the end put a turn left.
Okay, so let's see. Also move forward, repeat 3 times, and a turn left. And are you sure we're going to do this 5 times?
3
Your
times, sir.
first repeat block, you said repeat 5 times. And then in that repeat block, we've got, I'm going to run it and then we'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, so let's see Neo's code. I hope I've done everything right that he said. Run, turn. There we go, we finished. But I want to go back here quickly. I just want to show you guys this repeat 5 times. This repeat 5 times. We didn't have to use 5 times because we only needed to do it 2 times. We only need it because there's 1 over there and 1 over there. And I see Lesedi said I couldn't figure it out. Should I send a screenshot? Yes. If you want to send a screenshot and you want to ask some help, I can also do that. And remember, Lesedi, look up here. Remember the light bulb. If you get stuck, try and use the light bulb to give yourself some tips of how to complete the puzzle. So let me just quickly run. I want to show you guys here. We didn't have to use 5 times, we needed 2 times, and there we go, end of the puzzle. So even 2 would have worked. And then I want to go back to my slideshow quickly. You guys are so great. I love it when you guys interact with me like this. I want to leave you with a nice quote from Sarkin Lilac, he said every programmer is an author. Remember, you can build your own story with coding. So he says every programmer is an author. So I want to thank you guys. There's my email address again, mgeldenes81@gmail.com. And I'm going to post it for you guys quickly in the chat box as well if you just want to copy that. Otherwise, you can take a picture of this or a screenshot. There we go. There's my email address if you just want to copy that.